Good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today. In the headlines this afternoon, Special Prosecutor Cecilia Dapaah is alleging a grand scheme by some judges to dismiss cases brought before courts by the office.
If the court stepped into this arena to decide who should be investigated, who should be prosecuted, and who should not, that is not the function of adjudication.
We have details as it says the trend has the potential to hamper the fight against corruption. More than 600 individuals face displacement, with some confined in their homes due to the overflow of the Dawanya Dam in the Ningo Prampram district. We have more for you on this. And also, NDC flag bearer John Mahama has commended management of the Shayo Sudoku District Hospital for maintaining the facility his government constructed and operationalized before leaving office. I am Amiesi Nyameche Thompson. Details shortly. And we start from the office of the Special Prosecutor. The Prosecutor Cecilia Dapaah is alleging a grand scheme by some judges to dismiss cases brought before the court by the office of the Special Prosecutor. According to him, the trend has the potential to hamper the fight against corruption. Addressing the media, Mr. Cecilia Dapaah provided a list of cases in his estimation were skewed to embarrass the office.
Being minded of the rights of suspects under its investigation. Members of the press, just as it is essential that anyone accused of a crime should have free access to the courts so that he may be duly acquitted if found not guilty of the offense with which he or she is charged, it is also of the utmost importance that the judiciary should not interfere with investigation and prosecution authorities in respect of matters which are within their statutory powers. It will be gravely inimical to public policy, the fight against corruption, and the administration of justice if the court stepped into this arena to decide who should be investigated, who should be prosecuted, and who should not. That is not the function of adjudication. The danger of this startling decision is again quite obvious. A judge has in the process granted two persons immunity from investigation and in effect immunity from prosecution. This decision opens up a calamitous deluge, as every person under criminal investigation will be encouraged to take out steps to injunct investigation and prosecution bodies from investigating and prosecuting them. Indeed, there is a live case involving the OSP now, in which someone has taken the cue to seek to injunct the OSP from investigating them. The real and present danger looms largely on the consideration that by so doing, persons under investigation would end up conscripting the judiciary to clothe them with immunity from investigation and prosecution. Members of the press, I do not intend to sound as though I am predicting doom, but we are facing doom. And this is it. With this development, it will not be long. A suspected murderer or armed robber would boldly walk to court with the unthinkable prayer that the court should injunct law enforcement agencies from investigating him. We are not suggesting that the OSP does not make mistakes. We are not suggesting that we are infallible and that every case brought by the OSP or against the OSP should end in a favorable outcome to the OSP, no matter how improbable the evidence. That is not what we are saying. However, it seems to us that this flagship public agency created by law to fight corruption should receive better regard and consideration by the courts and not this developing trend of dismissiveness and regression, without regard to its governing enactments, and certainly not the erection of non-existent hurdles in its work and operations. I wish I did not have to say all this, but it bears saying, and so I have said it. It is our duty as the Office of the Special Prosecutor to bear these things out. Members of the press, I proceed now to announce the commencement of investigation and corruption risk analysis in respect of the following matters. Number 1, government payroll. The OSP has commenced corruption risk assessment and investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses in respect of Government of Ghana Payroll Administration. The assessment and investigation are especially aimed at isolating and removing non-existent names, recovering wrongful payments, and the prosecution of persons suspected to be culpable for any offenses. The Controller and Accountant General's Department is actively collaborating with the OSP on this investigation and assessment. Indeed, a joint project team of selected staff of the two institutions has been formed. The investigation and assessment will cover all banks and employees on government payroll. The exercise will be carried out in 2 phases. Phase 1 will cover Ghana Education Service and the health institutions. Phase 2 will then cover all other metropolitan, municipal, district assemblies, ministries, departments, and agencies. Number 2, Tema Oil Refinery. I know some of you went ahead of me because that was not supposed to be brought to light was brought to light before my announcement. But hey, you are doing your work as media, so kudos. Tema Oil Refinery. The OSP has commenced analysis of the risk of corruption in respect of the proposed partnership agreement between Tema Oil Refinery and Energy and Processing Limited. The Special Prosecutor has directed the management of Tema Oil Refinery to immediately suspend the proposed partnership agreement, ongoing negotiations, operations, and all other ancillary activities arising out of and consequent upon the proposed partnership agreement until otherwise advised by the Special Prosecutor to enable us to timeously conclude the work. Number 3, state lands, stool lands, and other vested lands. The OSP has commenced investigation into the appropriation, sale, and lease of state-owned lands and properties to individuals and corporate bodies since 1993. The investigation covers all lands and properties that fall under the direct stewardship of the Lands Commission, the Ministry of Works and Housing, all other ministries, state housing company, state-owned companies, and other state agencies. The investigation also covers the management of vested lands and all public lands over which the state's ownership or control has been relinquished and the conditions of the release and relinquishment. Cecilia Dapaah. It will be recalled that in July, the OSP commenced investigation in respect of suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses regarding large amounts of money, mainly in foreign denominations, and other valuable items involving Ms. Cecilia Dapaah, former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, and her spouse. It will also be recalled that the office took several steps, including freezing Ms. Dapaah's bank accounts and investments, and seizing large sums from the residence of Ms. Dapaah and her spouse. It will further be recalled that upon the refusal by the High Court to confirm the freezing and seizure orders, The office re-seized the cash sums and refroze the bank accounts and investments and applied to the court again for confirmation. The matter is still pending. It will be further recalled that the investigation became cross-border and transboundary upon the claim by persons of interest that part of the seized cash sums was transported into the jurisdiction from the United States. For that reason, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, of the United States became involved in a collaborative investigative work with the OSP on the matter. The investigation has been largely aimed at determining the sources of the large cash sums. Members of the press, we have had the benefit of 5 months of investigation, and the circumstances of the case are clearer to us.
And you've been listening to some submissions by the Special Prosecutor, Cecilia Dapaah. Join us now is our correspondent, Elton Brobe, who is there right from the beginning. Elton, grateful for your time being here. Some bombshell statements from the Special Prosecutor. He's been making some claims on some cases before it. Can you run us through those cases?
Well, so there are some more cases that he mentioned, gives the impression that some judges are up against the mandate of the Special Prosecutor. He spoke about the Child 31 case where he did investigations, where he's under investigation for his alleged involvement in illegal mining and his role as Secretary to the Interministerial Committee. He also mentioned the La Bianca case together with Kedal Retitamwa, former head of the Customs Division of the GRA. Last Monday, the court gave its ruling on the matter and said that OSP went beyond its limits in their investigation. And of course, the matter involving the former Sanitation and Water Minister, Cecilia Dapaah. According to Mr. Dapaah, these cases give him the impression that some of the judges had already determined before the cases came to them. And so they said that the ruling directed them to stop further investigation into the matter. It's not something that finds favor with him. And for that reason, the judges must set up, or they could be doomed coming the way of Ghana in the fight against corruption. But that's why all of this is determined to see through his mandate as the head of the Special Investigation Department.
Well, Elton, does the Special Prosecutor make it clear why he thinks the judiciary is acting against his office?
So those are the cases that I mentioned earlier, that the 4 cases give him reason to believe that there is some kind of attitude or posture adopted by some of the judges sitting on cases brought before it by the OSP. But maybe to the extent that if a directive is given to the OSP that they should stop further investigation on some of the cases before it, these are not matters that fit well with him. And for that reason, he thinks that some judges are up against the office of the Special Prosecutor. And for him, it will go to undermine the fight against corruption and misspell doom for the country.
Is he going to resign, Elton?
So he says, for now, there appears to be some kind of, some scheme that is frustrating the work of the OSP. When I put that question directly before him, he said he would not. He described himself as a loner in the fight against corruption. He said he sacrificed himself for the country, and he will do his bit. When his time is up, he will leave.
Thank you very much. Elton Brobe is our correspondent at the OSP press conference. We also joined on the line by anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Aim on his perspectives of the current development at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We're grateful for your time here, Mr. Aim. What are your initial, reactions to what the OSP has been saying so far? Unfortunately, we cannot reach Mr. Aim now. Do we have him on the line now? Right, we do not have Mr. Aim right now on the line. We'll get back to him and then get back to get his thoughts. Okay, I get it now that he joins us now on the line. Mr. Aim, we're grateful for your time here on Joy Today. Mr. Aim, can you hear me?
can hear you, but I have an appointment with you.
Right. So I'm asking of your initial reactions to what the special prosecutor has been saying so far.
Which station is this? I don't know what. I'm confused.
This is Joy News today on the TV channel, if you can hear me.
Okay.
I hope you're fine now, Mr. Aim.
Yes, I am saying that.
Unfortunately, we missed Mr. Aim on that line there, but we'll go back to him when the lines are rectified. Now, customers of Black Shield Capital Management Limited, formerly Gold Coast Securities, have blocked the entrance to the Ministry of Finance in demand for their locked-up funds. This is part of a 36-hour picketing of the ministry to compel government to pay their monies.
In fact, we were engaged by the Finance Ministry led by Honorable Mustafa Amin, the Minister of State for Finance Ministry. But in the meeting, he just insulted us. And we also walked out of the meeting.
If you say he insulted you, what do you mean?
We had met this minister earlier on the 12th of October when we came here to picket. And in the meeting, we agreed that he was going to tell the government the need to effect our payment immediately and bring us feedback in 2 weeks. The 2 weeks elapsed on the 26th of October, and he never got back to us. Upon several follow-up, he never got back to us. So yesterday, when he was inviting us, we didn't want to meet him, but we were persuaded and we met with him. But yesterday was the worst of it all. He told us that the Finance Ministry will effect our payments on only one condition. And that condition is that we, the customers, should get assistance from the Finance Ministry so that we will go after Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum and the Gold Coast Fund Management Company, challenging the liquidation order filed by the government through the Registrar General Department against the company to sell its assets. But we said, no, this is a pure legal process, and we cannot use illegality to get him out of the court. It is the government that filed this case against Gold Coast Fund Management, and liquidation is a litigation process. He has put up a defense. If the government has done everything so well with due diligence, they have to provide their facts and their evidence for the court to rule in favor of the government and grant them the liquidation order.
Is it the case that he's suggesting that he should take a legal action against government before he gets you paid, or he wants you to go to Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum to demand for your money?
No, he was trying to say that the money is ready. Approved money by Parliament is ready.
Okay.
But they will not disburse it unless we force Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum out of the courts.
Okay, so they want your former boss to take the issue against government about the legitimacy of withdrawal of his license from court before they pay you.
No. He is not. This is not a challenging of withdrawal of licenses. There is two different cases ongoing in court as far as Gold Coast Fund Management is concerned.
Okay.
One is Gold Coast Fund Management challenging the withdrawal of its licenses.
Okay.
But that is not the bone of contention between we and the Finance Ministry on our payment.
Okay, the contention is?
The issue is there is another case which is a liquidation case. They need authority from the court so that they can sell the properties of Gold Coast Fund Management. And that one is a liquidation order case which the government has filed through the Registrar General Department to get this liquidation order from the court so that they can sell the assets. And that is what, after they filed it, the Securities and the Gold Coast Fund Management is putting up a defense. And it is up to government to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the Gold Coast Fund Management Company is duly insolvent and they need to be liquidated.
Well, let's get back to our first story on the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We're joined once again by anti-corruption campaigner Dr. Vitus Aim. Mr. Aim, welcome back. And if you could provide us with your initial reactions to what the OSP had to say. Unfortunately, we lost him once again. And we move on to James Aveji, who is currently at the Finance Ministry, following on at those picketing at the Finance Ministry. Do we have James as well on the line? Our line seems to be giving us problems right now, but we move on. NDC flag bearer John Mahama has commended management of the Shayo Sudoku District Hospital for maintaining the facility his government constructed and operationalized before leaving office. He also acknowledged the gains the hospital has made for the past 5 years in maintaining a low maternal mortality rate. The Shayo Sudoku District was one of the first beneficiaries of the hospital's NDC government under John Mahama completed under its health infrastructure agenda. He has, however, been addressing staff and management of the hospital during a donation ceremony to mark his 65th birthday anniversary.
I am highly impressed with the maintenance of this hospital and the high professional standards that the staff are showing. It is held up as one of the model hospitals in West Africa, and actually the WHO has asked other countries to come and emulate, the way this hospital has been kept. And the idea for this hospital came to create a system of satellite hospitals that will ease the pressure on the main hospitals like Ridge and Kolebu and 37 and Police Hospital. And that's why the Ga East Hospital was started, and that's why Shayo Sudoku was started. Several other hospitals, Fomina, Kumewu, Abetifi, Bekwai, Afari Ministry Hospital and all that. Because being in Ashanti, there was too much pressure on Konfanoche. And so we needed to do satellite hospitals so that patients could get the same standard of care in places like this rather than all going to Ridge and Kolebu. And so I want to congratulate the Director of Medical Services and also the District Director of Health Services, the District Director of Nursing Services. You can see a very motivated group of health workers who are giving their all to the community. I just told them, I said they are the victims of their own success because there's more pressure on the hospital now. They were supposed to serve the Shayo Sudoku district, but I hear people are coming from Eastern region and other places, Volta region, from as far as Kaswa. They pass Kolebu and come here, especially those who want to come and deliver, because this hospital has a reputation for low maternity deaths, low infant deaths, and you could see it ourselves when we went in there. There are several mothers, several children who are all well and thriving. And so on my birthday, I came to share a little of the joy of the day with both the staff and the patients. And I just want to take the opportunity to encourage them to continue doing what they are doing so well already. And may God continue to bless them, continue the maintenance. The hospital looks almost the same as when I commissioned it 7.5 years.
Well, my colleague Samu Inur has been part of the former president's team and joins us on the line. Samu, what more can you report?
The hospital authorities extend their gratitude to the former president and the NDC flag bearer for recognizing the effort and also coming to support them with some of the essential and critical equipment to mark his birthday, especially the incubators that he donated. He donated 2 pieces of it to them, and other very important machines such as the phototherapy machine. So they also use the opportunity to appeal to the NDC flag bearer for other challenges to be addressed. They are talking about their transport system, then courtesies for the nurses. They are asking that in future, if you remember them and then help them uplift the safety of the hospital.
Your time here on Joy News Today. The Women's Caucus of the Minority in Parliament is demanding an amendment to the budget statement to remove all taxes on sanitary pads. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced in the budget a 0 rating of VAT for locally manufactured pads. But the NDC says that is not enough. Addressing journalists in Parliament, Deputy Minority Chief Whip Comfort Doyo Kuju warned that if this is not done within a month, there will be unpalatable consequences for government.
All that we are asking from the government is to remove all taxes. Countries are sharing this sanitary pad for students free of charge. Others have set aside 3 million a year for this sanitary pad. We can do better than that for our children. We can do better than that for our women. We are just giving the government 1 month to come back to the House and amend what it put in the budget statement. Otherwise, we will advise ourselves. Because if condom is tax-free and condom is not something that is naturally you need to get at all costs, but the sanitary pad or menstrual period is something that biologically you need, you have it as a woman, and we still know why they should tax our blood. They should stop taxing our blood. That's why the university female students are here today. The market women are here today to join us to fight this cause. So the government should amend the statement he made in the budget statement within 1 month and come to the House and assure we the women. Otherwise, we are going to advise ourselves.
Still in Parliament, 3 members of Parliament are spearheading a groundbreaking legislative initiative, a private member's bill aimed at enshrining clean air as a fundamental human right. Known as the Climate Change Bill, this proposed legislation seeks to hold the government accountable and put a stop to the unchecked emission of carbon into the atmosphere. If passed, this bill could make a significant turning point in the country's commitment to environmental protection and public health. Beat reporter Michael Ashale has more on this report.
The Ghanaian government has signaled a commitment to tackling the country's carbon footprint with policies ensuring lower sulfur content in fuels and the promotion of renewable sources of energy like solar, wind and hydroelectric power. However, reducing carbon emissions is different from reducing air pollution. Air pollutants are caused by the tiny particles that are in the gases, smoke and dust emitted by vehicles, industry and burning of waste. They invade people's lungs and bloodstream, causing illness, and they cause havoc in the atmosphere, and they continue to grow. The biggest contributor to air pollution is exhaust fumes emitted by the array of aging vehicles crowding the streets, according to the World Health Organization. And it's a growing problem for millions in heavily polluted cities like Accra, causing an increase in asthma, respiratory illnesses, as well as heart and kidney problems.
I don't know whether we have a law backing the pollution or not. I don't know, unless maybe you have to educate me.
That's Abraham Ni Odai, an assemblyman for Nkwantana West, who is responsible for the local governance of a part of Medina. Medina is home to a bustling bus terminal and frequently experiences prolonged traffic congestion. It's also home to one of the biggest markets in Accra.
How many cars do you think we have here?
It's more than, I can't call, but we are getting more than almost about, say, 500,000 cars here. Whenever we are going to Elome, we are going to Nigeria, we are going to all over the country, maybe our continental, maybe Niger, Benin.
So all over. I'll get a car to anywhere in any part of the country here.
And that was Michael Ashale's report, and it's a good time to go on a commercial break. We'll be right back with business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Some players within the engineering space are calling for more investments to expand technical and vocational education and training. They believe more investments will help address the skills gap and promote economic development. According to engineer Joseph Kwesiodeb, there is a need for more sensitization in the sector. He spoke to Joy Business at the Kimbu Senior High School Technical School's grand opening of its 150th anniversary celebration.
The stakeholders stressed on the need to unite in fostering an environment of creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration to continue building future leaders within the TVET space. Engineer Joseph Odai at the launch of the Kimbu Senior High Technical School's 150th year anniversary celebration and unveiling of the anniversary logo said the school will continue with its educational excellence, resilience, and transformative impact on the lives of students.
Kimbu is one of the resources that can help contribute to this TVET education we are all promoting. So government should look at KIMU very well, because they already have the teachers, they have workshops that can augment all these, sort of bring them the kids up to the space of TVET activities. Those days TVET was fine, but I think we died off and now we are resurrected. So we should just probably not look at the past in terms of our failures. Let's see how we can move forward and solve that problem of TVET. We need to encourage it. We need to encourage the TVET education because it's very good. It's a hands-on stuff. So if we got our kids in there, it can really help Ghana grow very well.
The school's headmistress, Mrs. Sylvia Lechate, called on corporate institutions to support the school and TVET education.
Here today to launch our 150 years anniversary, and it's a grand opening where we have created an endowment fund that will be used to support students and also to upgrade the school to an appreciable standard. So that is why we are here to open the 150 years anniversary. And then we have a lot of activities that will be going on. So we have the anniversary on the 28th of September 2024, which the President of the Republic of Ghana has promised to be our guest of honor that day. So
the anniversary is under the theme, Equipping Our Future Leaders with 21st Century Skills, the Roles of Stakeholders.
Now, the University of Ghana Business School says it will continue to invest in artificial intelligence in a quest to aid students improve skills within the IT space. According to the Dean, Professor Justice Baole, the school will continue to provide quality business education. He spoke to Joy Business after the commissioning of CCTV cameras by the 1998 year group.
The surveillance system donated by the 1998 year group is to improve security at the University of Ghana Business School. Professor Justice Baole maintained that the school is engaging various stakeholders for support to improve on other departments within the school.
So, for example, we have just introduced 3 new programs, all in big data, all in business analytics, and all of that. And we have actually gone ahead to deploy an AI assistant, chat UGBS, and so anybody that needs information from us, for example, and this development was led by our students. We have students who have developed apps and AI-enabled apps on tourism in Ghana and tourism destination in Ghana and how to move around on campus, the history of things on campus and all of that. These capabilities are things that we require support to be able to do. For example, several of our students don't even have a laptop. And when you have to begin to teach them these things, it becomes a problem. And so that is why we want Corporate Ghana to support us to put up this big digital exam center where we would also use as a basis, as an anchor to train our students in all these new technologies that would allow our students to fit within the global digital space.
The year group leader, Stephen Ayer Pedersen, explained the need for the surveillance system to their alma mater.
So the 1998 group is 25 years this year. And so we decided to come back to where we were groomed and decided to have surveillance and security installations for the school. We have so far spent close to 100,000 Ghana cedis in installing surveillance systems for the registry, the graduate wing, and the main administration building, including the adjunct car parks. And it is in commemoration of our 25th anniversary. With that, what motivated this celebration is that in the next 25 years, we will not be as you see us. Even if we are alive, I mean, majority of us are getting golden. So we felt that this is the time to touch the school most.
And that's it for the segment. Sports is...
Hi there, I am Harun Obarak with the Sports. Now, President of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, Kwabena Yeboah, has expressed concerns at the slow rate of work on infrastructure as Ghana prepares to host the 2023 Africa Games next year. Today marks exactly 100 days to the event, which starts on March 8 in 2024. But facilities at Borteman and the University of Ghana remain uncompleted. Yeboah called on the Ministry of Finance to make available funds to speed up the level of work and avoid national embarrassment.
This is a subject that is very, very dear to the hearts of not only the SWAG executives, but the entire membership of SWAG. We're very uncomfortable at the slow pace of development of the infrastructure as we are only a few months away from the commencement of the Games. And the Africa Games is huge, is the Olympics of Africa. We cannot embarrass ourselves to the rest of the continent. We were supposed to host it this year. By a combination of factors, it could not be hosted. We are a few months away from the commencement, and we are hoping and appealing to the Ministry of Finance through the government to assist the Ministry of Youth and Sports to ensure that the infrastructure, the pace, the rate at which we're developing the infrastructure would be rapid. Again, we are not convinced about the resources put at the disposal of the disciplines as they prepare for the Africa Games. And again, I use this platform to appeal to the state to pump enormous resources to the preparation of all the disciplines. And don't forget that this country is going to host not less than 24, 27 disciplines. It will be most embarrassing that as we host the Games, we'll come home with very few medals. And it all starts with our preparation. We cannot wait till about 2 weeks to the event when we pretend to be preparing. So this is a humble appeal to the state. If the Minister of Finance is listening, this is the time for him to sacrifice and understand the enormity of the task that we have picked on our shoulders and to spend some resources into this sport. Nobody compelled Ghana to accept the hosting responsibility. We decided to accept it, which is a good thing because it helps us improve our infrastructure. So it's amazing, but we have to be seen to be doing the right things. As I indicated, la creme de la creme of sporting personalities from across Africa and the world will be descending on Accra in a few months' time. We cannot afford to embarrass ourselves. We must do the needful, and doing the needful means spending enormous resources for the infrastructure as well as preparing our teams for the Games.
That's your sports on JN Today. My name is Harun Mubarak. Up next is World News.
Well, it's time for me to get you into the world of show business. And Pastor Joe Bisham, who has Yonder, his concert coming up on the 3rd of December, actually told us about his project, Sound Mind. So this is a project that he celebrates his birthday with patients at Anchor for mentally derailed people at Anchor for. And he tells us how it all came about. And also the fact that he, even though he has not achieved his purpose with this Sound Mind project, he gets excited and satisfied every year he sits and celebrates his birthday with them.
We cooked in the house, whatever. We gathered equipment, instruments. We went there with their permission. And then we fed almost 500 people or so, if I remember right. Both patients and staff. I celebrate, we ate with them, we interacted with them. We had beautiful encounters. Some of them, maybe if time permits, I will share with you. Well, we had patients singing my song, Embry, 2 patients, one singing soprano, one singing alto. And tears in everybody's eyes. You know the words of that song? A person in that state saying, Embry, Embry, woman, mi wo jizi de orincher obeye ye nanso samitu meni sheria simwa ewu kesi bi ritu.
Have you achieved your purpose since then?
I've achieved satisfaction. The purpose, we are still on the journey towards the purpose. And I know God himself will make it be.
Well, he's still on the course to achieving the purpose of celebrating with the mentally challenged people at Ankafu every year. And that is just about wrapping up for what is happening in the world of showbiz. The name is Ibrahim Benbako, and back to you, Mamisi.
Thank you, Benbako. And that's it for this bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. And that's how we wrap up here. I am Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. Have a good afternoon.